National Conference on Women in Engineering in the year 2013. She is instrumental in starting Women's Day celebration in SGMCET from 2010. She has received Accenture Star Award on the occasion of Women's Day celebration in March 2019 for her contribution as an employee who has exhibited her influence, acted upon with concern with respect to culture of inclusion, equality in her organization. She has contributed to NPTEL study material in higher engineering mathematics. Madam has also translated NPTEL course on microprocessors and microcontrollers to Kannada language as directed by NPTEL. Madam's R&D projects are as follows. Madam has received research grants from AICTE, rupees grant of rupees 7 lakhs for DCT based multimedia applications in the year 2011. Madam has received VGST KFIST L1 grants of rupees 20 lakhs for development of advanced communication laboratory for software defined radio in the year 2019. Madam has guided 4 faculty who have already completed their PhD under her guidance and 3 faculties are pursuing PhD. Madam has co-authored a book on the title Digital Signal Processing. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti. Respected principal of this college, Dr. K. Gopinath sir, respected coordinator of this FDP, Dr. Sidlingesh Nalgun sir, and his team of faculty who are organizing this particular event, and my dear participants. A very good morning to all of you. Today my topic is on women entrepreneurs. My topic covers 2022 Women's Day celebration theme, women empowerment, some statistics about women entrepreneurs and education, whether engineers are good entrepreneurs, some answers and some questions again, challenges faced by women entrepreneurs, few tips for women entrepreneurs, and some successful Indian women entrepreneurs. This year's Women's Day celebration theme is Gender Equality Today for Sustainable Tomorrow. It is focusing on recognition of women and girls who are taking charge of climate change adoption and response, and to honor them for their leadership in this particular cause for better future. Of course, we all know that climate change is a matter of concern in this era. Coming to women entrepreneurship, it is synonymous with the women empowerment. This women empowerment was the topic of my session in the last FDP, which was conducted in our college. But before starting with the women entrepreneurship, let me brief you about women empowerment. Only then we can move on to entrepreneurship. Women entrepreneurship, as you must be knowing, it is a process. It is to change the distribution of power among men and women, both in interpersonal relation and in institutions throughout society. It is also speaks about the degree of autonomy and self-determination in women and communities. It enables them to represent their interests in a responsible and self-determined way, acting on their own authority. It is the process of becoming stronger and confident, especially definitely controlling her own life and claiming her rights. Women often suffer from discrimination, maybe in the family or else in the workplace, maybe in a small workplace or even in professional institutions or an IT company where our women engineers will be part of the company. Lack of access to good jobs sometimes, unequal pay sometimes, we will not be knowing, but women may not express that. But these are all the uh, problems usually women face, even if they are working. So it is not just the issue of women, it is the gender issue. It necessitates a re-examination of gender equality. It requires changes in men as well as in women. It is a process. By just defining a women empowerment, it cannot be brought in. It is a process. It encompasses a progression from gender inequality to gender equality. Second step in this process is that women themselves must be significant actors. Unless we come forward and express our views or uh, ask for our rights, no one is going to give us any facility. So we have to be significant actors in this particular process of change that is being described or measured. So it emphasizes the importance of participation and social inclusion. How to bring in women empowerment? Education unlocks a whole new world. It is a chance for a girl. It gives her confidence to tackle different problems of life, solving the family or community problems appropriately. So it is foundation for all, legal framework for equality, decision making at all levels, participation in decision making, and economic empowerment also. It is observed that the women literacy rate in urban area is about 79% as against 89%. Maybe percentage wise, it looks like the difference is only 9%, 9 point some percentage difference. But remember, there are crores of people in our India. So in rural situation, it is only 57 or 58% women are literate as against 77% of literate males. Women enrollment for higher studies has seen a very good increase from 10% during independence about 70 years back. It was 10% and it has increased to 43 or 44% in the recent past. Only jump by 33%. So women empowerment includes action of raising the status of women. It is definitely through education and raising the awareness among all the people, men and women alike. It is all about equipping and allowing women to make life determining decisions through the different problems in society. Now, coming to women entrepreneurship, there is a need for educating girls' child in the field of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If we are concentrating about the women engineer entrepreneurship, then there is a need for educating the girl child in the field of STEM. Let's look into some statistics drawn by Program for International Student Assessment. PISA is a worldwide study by OECD, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It conducts a survey in member and non-member nations, and it evaluates the educational system in school level and that is students' performance, both boys and girls, in mathematics, science, and reading ability. Purpose is to compare the education attainment across the world. Look at the statistics here. You can see different colors for different states, but What about this region, Africa, our country, China, etc.? They are all with no data available. Look at the status. No data available. I'll come to that point. Mathematics as average score is indicated here. You can see dark blue is with a score of 561.4 points, and dark red is less than 354.6 score for mathematics average. Again, in this science average score, India and some more countries, there is no data available again. Even in the reading ability score, India has not shown any data. What may be the reason? India had last participated only in 2009. The data I showed you is of the year 2018. Because India did not do well, it stopped participating in the event thereafter. But that should not be the case. It should participate. So, in 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi selected Chandigarh for PISA survey in 2021. But due to pandemic, it got postponed to 2022 now. And just planning for participation is not enough. There is a need for training. So various changes have been brought into the curriculum, including training for the students, training for the teachers, development of content for the same by MHRD. Hope we will perform well in 2022 survey. In the year 2020, the sex ratio of the total population in India is found to be 108.18 males per 100 females, and female number is less. But another survey says says that by the National Family Health Survey, it says that there are 1,020 females per 1,000 males. There are some mismatch in both the statistics, because crores of people have to be surveyed, count has to be derived. So whatever it is, percentage of female population is about 48% compared to 51.96% male population. You know the reason why there is less percentage of women in our country. Coming to engineer statistics in India, in the year 2018, about 24.2% of employees working as engineers were females. In another 2 years, it improved to 29.7% of women engineers. It is inspiring to observe, however, approximately 260,000 more females are engaged as engineers during the last 3 years. So even if some little percentage of women who are already working as women engineers become entrepreneurs, definitely it is going to improve the Indian economy in a tremendous way. Who is an entrepreneur? He is the one who creates new business. He is an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, business, and/or procedure. He will be the one who enjoys most of the rewards. He is the one to definitely bear the most of the risks. Look at me. I started with saying he is the one who creates new business. He is the one who enjoys rewards, etc. It is our habit, isn't it? Wherever such situation arises, we don't say she is the one who creates new business. She enjoys most of the rewards. She is the one to bear the most of the risks. It is our habit, and maybe I have to change it as he or she who creates new business and so on, isn't it? Even while talking also, we may have to think about the gender equality and give importance to women entrepreneurs. Whether engineers are good entrepreneurs, you all agree with me. We are all engineers and we train our students to be good engineers and maybe towards good entrepreneurs also. What makes engineers as good entrepreneurs? One reason, there are so many reasons. One being they make great entrepreneurs because they bring a skill set to the startup. Um, they know how to manage the project and solve big problems. In our college, for example, we start with the project in the curriculum from the fourth semester itself. And some of the faculty, along with this curriculum based, the curriculum dictated projects, some faculty, as part of their course evaluation activity, they give project work to the students. So they are all trained over the years of managing the project and solving big problems. And enormous amount of planning goes into developing the project and moving towards its completeness. As per the study, 10 years back, the situation was that CEOs were engineers and number of engineer CEOs being 3 times more than MBA CEO. MBA is for Master in Business Administration. So still, engineer CEOs are more in number. But now, anyway, it is startup era. No doubt, this number would have got changed to a better number. Engineers are great innovators. They have ability to create and hence have killer ideas to work out on that. They have ability to spot opportunities, tap them into a fully product type project. And they also have a skill of never give up easily. They have that mindset, and you can recollect the POs in our program. That is program outcome as indicated by NBA. There are so many different program outcomes, and we train our students towards that. So these are all derived from that only. So towards making all our students as good engineers and good entrepreneurs also. They have the strength to bounce back because they have multiple plans for one project. They are the great team players. Sometimes when students make a team and break it while moving to the next semester, we warn them. We tell them if this is the thing, it may be observed by the interviewer later in time. He may pose you a question, why did you change the team? You should have technical answer. You should not give an answer. He is not cooperating with me. She is not cooperating with me. She is dominating. Such answers won't stand there. You should give a technical reason for changing the batch. So they are team players. We train them towards being team players. Engineers are rational. They know to evaluate the scope of the idea and approach everything that pertains to its rationally. So skill set to start up, managing the project and solving the big problems, planning, go into the project, and their team players, great innovators, never give up easily mindset. Everything is there in our students. Ours is co-education college. Most of the engineering colleges are colleges. So what about the girls engineer? Do they not have skill set to the startups? Can they not manage project? Do they not have plan for projects? Are they not great innovators? Yes, they are also trained for this. So we can expect women engineers as entrepreneurs also. Women entrepreneurs, my topic will be in general women entrepreneurs, not totally concentrating on women engineer entrepreneurs. So women entrepreneurs, you being women entrepreneurs, you tell your students that they should remember, if you are not ready for adaptation, then you are not required. Yes, of course, it holds good for boys and girls students, no doubt. But still, you tell your girl students, if you are not ready for adaptation, then you are not required. Engineering, as most of us know, most dominant male-dominated field in STEM, because uh, boys' strength is more than girl students. For decades, to attract more girl students into this system, engineering educators have focused on curriculum reforms. Promoting girls' interest in mathematics and science is one example. A few more examples are the AICT norms, UGC norms. They encourage the um, college management who are planning to open engineering college for only women. They AICT and UGC encourages such a move. They give some relaxation in the land space required. They give some relaxation in the fee to be paid by the management to start with the women engineering college, and additional few more relaxations are given by AICT and UGC. Not only that, not only to the college management, it gives some concession, it also gives concession to the girl students also. For example, to appear for entrance exams, there will be some fee concession. Sometimes in appearing for gate exams, there will be no fees for girl students. In CBSE schools, for a single girl child, there is fee concession and so on. So many different attractive schemes have been brought in by the government to educate the girls in the field of STEM. But still, many quit education during and after school. Element So many reforms have been already worked out towards stopping the students quitting the school. Women tend to leave the profession even after taking the graduation in engineering. Women sometimes leave the profession at a higher rate than men. Reforms are not working at the college level sometimes, because pressure on women by the society and her family is too much, and they quit the job and they quit the profession at college level. Focus solely on education may not address the problem. Women take up about 20% of engineering graduates. It is estimated that about 40% of the women who earn engineering degree, they either quit or never enter the profession. Either quit in the middle or they may never even enter the profession. As per the MasterCard Index of Women Entrepreneurs, out of 100 entrepreneurs in India, only 7 are females. Look at the percentage, 7% of entrepreneurs are women entrepreneurs. As per the Google Bain report, only 20% of the businesses are owned by women. The 2021 report by World Economic Forum also shows that a massive gender gap is there, about 72% in India labor market. And another survey, sixth economic census released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, highlights that women constitute around 14% of total entrepreneurship in India. What may be the problems faced by women entrepreneurs to have some such least percentage of share in the field? Very few sectors are women friendly because most of the sectors encourage men, maybe manufacturing, construction, etc. There are, of course, policies and measures to promote gender equality. Government has taken all the measures towards this. But still, men dominate India's entrepreneurial field. Most women-based businesses, they concentrate on education, maybe apparel, beauty care, and such things. So it limits the experience to be gained by the women. Opportunities, capabilities are not brought out clearly to a significant extent. Lack of social and institutional support. Most women business owners don't get social support, maybe from their families, by the peers, or immediate ecosystem. They lack mentorship from the business community, and they don't even get timely guidance or help from authorities. Absence of proper support network, maybe from their families or peers or a immediate ecosystem, it adversely impacts the confidence and ability to take risks. First of all, women entrepreneurs will enter the entrepreneurship field with fear, lots of fear in their mind, and this kind of having a lack of support by the network adversely definitely affects their confidence and ability. Poor funding prospects is another problem faced by women entrepreneurs. There is massive gender bias in this particular funding prospects. According to report by Innovent Capital, of all the companies which received funding during 2019, only 12% of the companies had at least one female founder in the committee. So, moreover, women-led businesses lack access to capital because of this, and it is due to the prejudice and reluctance of the investors and other factors. Even banks and financial institutions, they don't support, and they look down upon the women. They don't believe that women can do well in the entrepreneurship field. Many women don't even have property or assets in their name. Why is it required? Sometimes bank and financial institutions ask for it while applying for collateral loans or private financing. They don't have property or assets in their names, so it creates problem. If it is a man or if it is a boy of a family, the family members definitely support them financially. They get support from the bank or the investors. Everything is a plus point for them. Lack of access to professional network. This is another problem in growing their business. Limited access to professional network. Over 45% of the urban small business owners who are women, they suffer due to insufficient avenues of network development. It is difficult to find collaborators because of this, vendors for their products, and build social capital out of this. And there is, as already told, there is lots of pressure to stick to traditional gender roles. Whenever it comes to family matters, managing the children, managing the elders in the family, responsibility is more on women. So managing family matters and professional responsibilities, that too an entrepreneur level, it's a challenge in itself. and even more so when you set out to build a brand. Usually, family members ask the women employees to not to go for entrepreneurship. They always advise to take up an easy profession. Definitely, no profession is easy, but easier than running a company as an entrepreneur. So, family advises women to take up easy profession that helps them to focus more on family, kids, and elders and other matters. So, they tell you take up a profession where you can expect on first of every month a handsome salary. It attracts a handsome boy for you who is also equally earning a handsome salary, so enjoy life with him. What about entrepreneurs? Lack of entrepreneurial environment. It's a long journey of learning. Sometimes whatever we would have done, it may not click. So we may have to upskill, we may have to take additional training. So many women, they suffer from lack of strong entrepreneurial spirit. When they lose the business, there may not be support, um, um, maybe financially, or else at least they should be supported emotionally. So she has to play multiple roles. Within the business itself, she has to play multiple roles, if not with the family, interaction with the business community, building their market access, learning opportunities, access to resources, mentors, etc. Limited mobility is another problem. They cannot travel alone. Yes, of course, we can travel alone, no doubt, but most of the women find difficulty in traveling alone. Or traveling alone, maybe there is a reservation for women. One bogie is reserved for women in railways. Sometimes seats are reserved in buses in for long journey for women. But what about the stay at hotels for business purpose? Without worrying much about the safety, women cannot think of traveling a long distance. So many hotels in India, they don't even allow women to check in unless accompanied by men. So that is another problem. Every time one man has to accompany a woman. So who is going to do that task? It's very difficult. So number of women owning the motorized vehicle in India, it is of course increasing, you can say, but still fewer than men. You can avoid traveling in buses or train. You can take your own vehicle, but the number is less. And for a long journey, women may not prefer to drive alone, so she may need a driver. So what about the driver? Driver is a man. So it's very difficult to travel for business purpose. Lack of education. I have already talked about the statistics of women education. So education is not getting due importance for women. Though educated, they should have professional experience of working in relevant industry before starting with an entrepreneurship. And risk bearing ability is very less for women. They do not have financial freedom. They lack practice of independent decision making. They lack confidence in their own decision. And this is, of course, gradually changing, no doubt. It is maybe by the training, me and you as uh, teachers for them, giving training our girl students towards their entrepreneurship journey. Balancing responsibilities between family and business. is another difficulty. And most of the time, married women are expected to quit their job for some time, maybe 3 or 4 years, to look after their child. And once the child starts going to the school, they may join back to their profession. But that gap, 3 or 4 years gap, technology would have moved long, far away from the knowledge that that woman would have gained before 3 or 4 years before taking the break. There is stiff competition, and within their business, same kind of business may be run by many people. So there is a competition within their business. Not only that, within their own company, maybe there is a competition for leadership. So women have to prove their worthiness in every step in their entrepreneurship journey. They have to prove their worthiness to their customers, to their colleagues, to their investors, and so on. Limited industry knowledge. Women have limited access to industry contacts, mechanisms, and know-how that are necessary for running a business. STEM in education in STEM discipline can bridge the gap um, that present women entrepreneurs currently face. And definitely, digital literacy has made the life easy for women entrepreneurs sitting at their home itself. They can have access to all the tools that they want and access to technical knowledge, training, online training they can take. So all is possible due to this digital era. Missing role models is another problems faced by women entrepreneurs, because women entrepreneurs are less in number as quoted earlier. So they do not have enough positive role models. If in a family a woman tells that she wants to take entrepreneurship in some field, their family first points out at the negativity about that. Look at that lady. She struggled a lot for years and she couldn't bring up her business. She lost her home. Entire family is in trouble now. That is all the sentences uttered by the family. And it is because of missing role models. It is difficult for them to visualize how success would look like. So if there are some positive role models, definitely they will follow that and they may succeed in business. So because there are less number of women entrepreneurs, it is difficult to get the training or else women mentors for women entrepreneurs, coaches for the women entrepreneurs who can groom them and provide meaningful feedback. Social construct is this already I highlighted. Gender roles have been stringently designed. Many a times, even if women take up entrepreneurship, there may be support by men, but they may take lead role and women may take a supportive role. Name will be in the business will be in the name of women, but men will take the lead role and women take a supportive role. And moreover, even if let us say women have overcome all these problems and they are taking up women entrepreneurship, there may be frequent conflicts even in the family of the successful woman entrepreneur. Why? Because men feel somewhat guilty. If their wives are earning more than their salary, they feel guilty. They start um, ignoring the fact that their wives are excelling in the field, they also do not support much. So they start resistance for their improvement or growth. Not only for the entrepreneurs, it is also observed that in case if the woman in the family has more education, if she wishes to get more education, it is not usually supported by the husband. So this may cause frequent conflict in the family. So sometimes women entrepreneurs fear and come out of the entrepreneur and take up some other job. So safety concerns were state of law and order. Of course, there are so many policies supporting women, women entrepreneurs, everything is fine. But poor state of law and order, it has given rise to crime against women. And the risky environment poses serious challenges to women entrepreneurs who need mobility to manage their business ventures. So it limits the women entrepreneurs from reaching many locations on their own. So safety concern is another problem. But still, somehow women have to overcome all these if they want to become an entrepreneur. So keep learning and be an expert. No one will stop. Why not go on a digital way? Why not learn on online? So keep learning and be an expert. You have to be in touch with the technological development day to day. Talk to your potential customers and understand their needs before you start a business. Unless you know the customer's feeling, you cannot start with the business and you cannot even succeed. You should know their need, and it is better to keep them in the feedback loop. So they give critical comments and critical feedback on which you can work out and make your business a successful one. Be a constant learner. You need to learn your niche. You need to learn the market, the trends, and your customers and your competition in the field. Use networking to your advantage. Co-working space, that is the order of the day now. What is it? Share the offices with others. So you need not have to worry about establishing an office, furniture, and other facility, internet facility, and travel facility, everything. So share the offices with others to start with your business. Once you grow and when once you feel that you are able to make your own office, only then you uh, go to your own office. And moreover, co-working space may be with other women entrepreneurs. Definitely, a woman entrepreneur encourages another woman entrepreneur to share the space. So amazing things may even happen then also when women support other women. They may join hands to start another new business, who knows. Find your mentors, your seniors, or other experts in the field. So find them, find the right mentors and right mentors who will guide you through the matrix of entrepreneurship. It is observed that those who have taken training, they can overcome unforeseeable challenges easily than others who have not taken the training. Ensure legal compliance. Women are weak in this. They usually overlook legal compliance required while setting up a company. So, primary purpose is not to deal with the troubles after getting into the trouble. So consult professionals. Be clear in your company's legal entity. Ensure that the people who are working for you, for your project or for your business, sign non-disclosure agreement and also contracts to the project your to protect your valuable ideas. Learn to handle money. Usually, society says that women love money more than men. Maybe we have vanity bag always with us. Men do not carry vanity bag. So there are many subsidies available for women under various state and central government schemes. So go through the details and find the best option for you. And co-working office has already been told to save initial investment on your business. So entrepreneur is not an easy journey. So you have to take care of yourself and have fun because your health is most important because your employees are dependent on you. If you have 100 employees, there may be another into 100 people who are his or her family members uh, depending on your success. So your health is more important. Avoid unhealthy eating, unhealthy sleeping habits. So be relaxed, healthy, and strong to make your dream a success. Let me now present you some of the successful women entrepreneurs, maybe in the engineering field or non-engineering field. Kalpana Saroj, better known as Slumdog Millionaire. She's here in the photo, receiving Padma Shri Award from the President Shri Pranab Mukherjee in the year 2013. She was appointed to the board of directors of Bharatiya Mahila Bank. She also serves on the board of governors. Remember all this? Board of governors of Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Maybe you are thinking that she's sound in her education. But what is this slumdog millionaire attached to her name? She is born in the year 1961, now about 61-year-old. She is daughter of a police constable, but got married at the age of 12. Look at the status. Just 60 years back. Child marriage. And thereafter, she lived in a slum with her husband's family. But she suffered physical abuse by her husband's family, and she got rescued by her father and returned to her village back again after maybe hardly 4 or 5 years with her children. She attempted suicide after being excluded from the society in her village. Look at her guts. At the age of 16, she started working in a garment factory to support her family. Again, child labor, but she didn't bother. Using government loan for SC people, she successfully started tailoring business and then a furniture store on her own. Look at her an education background, no education at all. She bought the distressed assets of Kamani Tube Company and successfully steered the company back to profits. And she proved that dreams can only turn into reality when we work hard. She's now you can understand why she is the original, described as the original slumdog millionaire. Inspired by her journey, many women entrepreneurs in India are emerging to success now. Look at a smile of success on her face. What are the key learnings? Always be learning. Your own life experience may be a lesson for you. There need not be mentor. There need not be role models. Look for the poor status of people and women in the society around you and plan for a simple solution to improve their life status. So person need not be with the best resume or with the best of all education to be an entrepreneur. Another example, Suchi Ramesh, founder of the Suchi Grid. She is an engineer, well educated. She grew up in India. She earned a BE in computer technology and MBA in software and marketing. She first came to America about 12 years ago and started working with Intel in analytics. She took about 10 years of her career in technology and predictive data analytics. And she learned a lot from her career in technological field. And she identified the supply chain as one of the legacy industries to embrace digitization. She thought of digitizing supply chain, and towards that she started on her own Suchi Inc. in 2016, hardly 6 years back. It is a next generation supply chain technology platform. It digitizes the end-to-end value chain for the companies of all sizes. In just 4 years of the starting of the company, it partnered with 200 businesses, and it eliminates the manual processes to improve the scalability and profitability. And it has got a proprietary software that is called Suchi Grid. And she is based right now in New Jersey, clothing startup. Look at the engineer's attempt in clothing startup. Keep all of the manufacturing in-house and in the United States by making it faster and smarter. It is a one-stop shop for handling fabrics, sourcing, product design, manufacturing, sales, and powered in part by tech tools. Look at her guts. Making clothing in America, a woman tech in America. She is a migrant, a minority-owned business, tackling skills gap because stitching and other things takes lots of time. And she is doing it with the workforce made up of, look at her workforce, immigrant women sewers and technologists. And her team has 80% of the women, not only from one or the other country, from 27 different nationalities. Being in India, studied in India, but now managing a company with 200 plus businesses, with managing 80% of the women in her team from 27 different nationalities. Realizing that serving many customers and providing custom solutions would drive severe complexity, she developed this particular grid. And it is a cloud-based product lifecycle management app. Customers, who are the customers? We, for example, man or a woman, doesn't matter. So wants to get the dress stitched. Order will be placed to this company. It is a complex product information. Assume that you are going to a tailor, explaining him the design and getting the dress stitched in time. You would have already paid for the fabric, a costly fabric. You will be under worry until you get the dress stitched. It is the problem with the men and women. But this particular Suchi grid, what it does, minute to minute data collected from the customer's complex product information. It gets converted to the um, stitching level and minute to minute data to foster the collaboration from one end of the supply chain to the other. At one end, customer, another end, the designer, or the finally the dress that is getting stitched. So the complexity of the network drove her to develop the next generation software for the purpose. She is proud in getting Entrepreneur of the Year award for New Jersey region in 2018. Here she is. You can see her in this photo. What are the key learnings? Always be learning, whether it is through books or your team or through your work. Look for the segments that have been mainly untouched. Stitching is mainly untouched. Who would have thought about digitizing that particular supply chain? So look at the mainly untouched field, and it should benefit from a modern and simple solution. It is not only a business for your earning, for managing your family, but it should benefit the society as a whole. The person with the best resume might not be the best long-term cultural fit for the company's growth path. That is what she observed. Another woman, Falguni Nair, founder of Nykaa. Education is IIM graduate, very good education. Prior work experience, she is a managing director at Kotak Mahindra Capital Company. And after her 50 years of age, thought of quitting that job because, as she said, I wanted to stand for those women who want to be beautiful and for themselves, not for men or for other women. So, such a simple one, beauty conscious thing for women, isn't it? So we apply powder every day early in the morning and come here. Sometimes women may not find time to apply lipstick. They apply it sitting after getting the seat in the bus, isn't it? So she wanted to stand for those women who want to be beautiful for themselves, not for men, not for others. She is the founder of Nykaa for the purpose. It is the one-stop destination for cosmetics and other beauty range. When she entered this journey at her age of 50, where most of the women prefer retirement to enjoy their life with their children, with their grandchildren. But she started her own business, Nykaa, at the age of 50. She observed unbiased approach used among the retail and online beauty shop sales managers. That was the key field where she thought she can work and bring in a change. She saw the lack of good beauty sale experience. Every time we go to the market, we may not find the same brand what we bought last time. So we go from shop to shop asking for the same, but we may not find. So she saw the lack of good beauty sale experience in India. And she combined these two, unbiased approach and lack of good beauty sale experience. She launched Nykaa in 2012. Shortly, several well-known brands started listing themselves on the platform. They want the sale, they want their product to be sold easily, they want the market for their product. So they saw Nykaa as a platform. So soon, its turnover found to be 200 crores. She started her business at the age of 50 and soon turned her business with a turnover of 200 crores. What is her business? Bringing all the renowned brands of beauty related things to one platform. And along with 850 brands under this Nykaa platform and more than 50,000 products. Falguni proved that it is never too late to enter into the business. She has motivated people to believe in the opportunities that can be created at any point in time in life. She has quickly emerged as India's largest omni-channel beauty destination with millions of happy customers across the country. Maybe some of the participants are already aware of Nykaa, maybe not aware of Falguni Nair, founder of Nykaa. So, what are the key learnings from her success? She proved that it is never too late to enter into the business. She observed that the lack of good beauty sale experience in India and unbiased approach used among retail and online beauty shop sales managers to select the best products. Simple cause is that she wanted to stand for those women who want to be beautiful for themselves. Another successful businesswoman, Sugandha Agarwal, founder of Dr. Care. She is also well educated. She is an engineer. Please, participants, someone's mic is on. Please mute it. Her work experience is in corporate job. So she says, as we dwell deeper, IoT and wearable startups as well as analytics startups will play a key role in making productive healthcare a reality for India. She's here in the photo. What she does, she established Dr. Care as an online healthcare service provider, similar to telehealth, telemedicine or so. It provides information to its users about the best doctors, clinics, hospitals, and diagnostic centers. Dr. Care also offers virtual walkthrough through the hospitals, various hospitals, and their facilities. So, sitting at home, if you have some health problem, you can visit Dr. Care and get the information about the best doctors available, clinics available, hospitals available. You need not have to find out from your colleagues or close friends or doctors in your hometown. So all the diagnostic centers, everything you can see virtually taking a tour to all these places. It has been successful to slowly gain trust from doctors and patients alike because it is a health issue. Doctors usually they are used to the situation that patients visit them unless they talk one to one. Doctors may not feel comfortable to give the medicine, to give the suggestion about anything. But now, slowly, Dr. Care has gained the trust from doctors as well as patients. Even patients, they don't trust some online doctor care kind of um, facility. But nowadays, it is a pandemic situation. So, going to the doctor is a difficult task. Not only that, going to some other place outside our hometown to get the medical treatment, or else to consult a doctor to get the second opinion, etc., very difficult. So, doctor care is the solution. So, company has enrolled so far major hospitals like Apollo, Manipal Hospital, Medanta, and many more hospitals. Of course, look at the work behind this particular doctor care. Lots of doctors have to be involved, lots of hospitals have to be involved, lots of clinics, test centers have to be involved. Unless that is possible, patients don't come forward to get the suggestion or to get the help from this doctor care. And this young lady has successful in that. And it is now getting around 300 plus appointments. What is the frequency? Per day, 300 plus appointments. A doctor may get, say, maybe at the most 20, 25 patients per day to his clinic. But doctor care gets 300 plus appointments per day, 4,000 plus medical tests done through doctor care. It is a facilitator. 500 plus clinics, 100 plus hospitals, and 2,000 plus doctors, they have registered with this particular doctor care. What are the key learnings? At her very young age, she observed telehealth care is gaining significance in making predictive healthcare a reality for India. She observed that being in our own hometown, it is difficult to get the best doctor's consultation. And though not a doctor by profession, she applied her engineering solution for this particular problem. Yes, of course, uh, by profession need not be a doctor. She is not giving the treatment. What she is doing, she is collecting all the doctors together. She is collecting all the hospitals, healthcare units together and bringing it to single platform, helping the patients. Another and woman entrepreneur, Amulya Kulkarni, co-founder Crafting Technologies. She is our own student, our college student, STM College of Engineering Technology, and she is passed out from our branch, Electronics and Communication Engineering. Crafting was founded in 2019. It is committed to the development of implantation of healthcare and agricultural technology. Its uniqueness is that it helps differently abled children develop variety of skills and uh, provide them with the tools and make them to navigate their social and physical world like normal people. Crafting also promotes global farming with the best local solution, maybe for plant protection, crop monitoring, and farm management. She It is a technical event organized by IIT Bombay. Her team came up with the innovative solution for needle stick injury, and the team won 3D modeling award and a gift voucher of 50,000 to take up this prototype further. But right now, she is a product consultant at Lumel Technologies. Still, she is a consultant for crafting technologies. It is housed in our own college campus, SKM College of Engineering and Technology, and she visits the campus for visiting crafting technologies every Saturday and Sunday. And she talks about data science, data analysis, content writing, machine learning, etc. So when you believe in yourself, anything is possible. So what are the key learnings? Make your students to participate in technical event, specifically project competitions. What she did, she participated in a technical event with her project, of course with a team. At her young age, she felt the need for helping differently abled children and to make their life an easy one, just like a normal person. She also felt the need for promoting global farming with the best local solutions. She is also not doctor by profession, but she applied an engineering solution for the problem of differently abled children. There are several initiatives in India. Let me talk only about one initiation because initiation skill development in India has already been talked about by one of the speakers in this particular FTP. W stands for WEE stands for Women Entrepreneurship and Empowerment. It is the first of its kind social national initiative by IIT Delhi and DST Government of India. It is to strengthen women ecosystem. It is launched in the year 2016. Its intention is to focus and ignite the fire amongst women from college-going students up to middle-aged housewives also to embrace entrepreneurship. Field is very wide. It encourages girls and housewives up to housewives to embrace entrepreneurship and fulfilling their dream. It trains about 30 women batch at a time, and the duration of the training is 6 months. Training is towards entrepreneurship. Step by step guidance will be given to develop business idea, and women entrepreneurs who develop the business idea, they are also further supported for their product development financially at an initial stage until they become sustainable. So at this point in time, I'm thankful to all of you, the organizers and the participants. But my humble request to you all is to encourage at least your girl child and or else your college girl students to be one of the women engineer entrepreneur. I hope you all join with me and you will succeed in making at least one girl child a woman engineer entrepreneur. And as you know, success is only by the hard work. You have to keep advising about this to your students, guide them towards a good project, and guide them towards becoming an entrepreneur. Thank you, one and all. Preeti, you are not audible. At least I am not able to hear you.
Now, madam, am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
Preeti.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, it was a very wonderful talk given by you, madam, and we got to know a lot of examples, like our student only Amulya Kulkarni, and a few more examples, and also the key learnings which you have highlighted, madam. From that, our participants have got a lot of benefits, and also the information conveyed by you, I think they have understood it. Thank you very much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and giving such a nice talk, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti.
Ma'am, there is a question by me.
Yes.
Madam, do you feel that there are sufficient number of women tech entrepreneurs? Do you think that there must be few more?
Yes, definitely. Isn't it? As per the statistics says, it is hardly 20%. So most of the entrepreneurs are uh, men. So we want women also to be entrepreneur. So age is no bar. Remember that, isn't it? Even
Yes,
me and you may take up. Who knows? We
yes,
do
ma'am.
not know where our final destiny is.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we may also end up with some entrepreneurship.
Yes, ma'am.
So I
True,
wish
ma'am.
many more women to take up entrepreneurs.
Yes, ma'am. I request any of the participants to unmute their mic, and if they have any query, they can ask it. Yes, madam. There is another question
Ah,
from Professor Mahantesh Marikatti, sir.
yes.
Madam, is it feasible for women to excel out as a successful entrepreneurs in manufacturing, trading, retail, and industrial business? What are the more barriers for women entrepreneurs compared to male entrepreneurs? And it was the sir is conveying that it was a wonderful session given by you, ma'am.
Okay. Let me thank Marikatti sir for that. And also, let me also tell that yes, women are lacking in technical knowledge in manufacturing and other fields. Training may be required, no doubt. So, not to fear about any field that they are going to take up. If they are clear about the field of the entrepreneurship that they want to take up, definitely it is advised to take a training first. So then take up the challenge. It won't be difficult. And the government has many schemes for especially women entrepreneurs. So financially also it is not difficult. Now, of course, encouragement is required from the family also. And it is not that if woman is starting with an entrepreneurship or some business, if she is an engineer or if she is an educated one, she can also make her team with men. So she will be knowing her own classmates or her seniors or juniors. She can make a team and then proceed further. Idea is her idea is hers, no doubt, but to bring it to reality, she can take help from her friends also.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. One more question from Prashant Revankar, sir. We often observe women taking career breaks for family matters. Any specific avenues for such women to restart with a new career?
Yes, first of all, support is required by people like you, sir, for women not to take the break in their career. And yes, if they want to be in touch with the field, even during the break time, they can also learn about the technological development, and they can be in touch with the technological development during the break time. Say online training or else attending this kind of courses anything they can do. Now online, lots of online facilities are there. It is not going to be difficult to be in touch with the technological development in any field. So break may not be a barrier nowadays.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. One more question from Dr. Siddhalingesh Navalgun, sir. Madam, would you suggest women to take up 9 to 5 jobs since such jobs consist of a major workforce?
9 to 5 job, yes, as told earlier, easygoing profession, no doubt. But still, challenge, some girls or women prefer to take up challenges. So for them, entrepreneurship is the final solution. So yes, many are taking 9 to 5 easy job, easy kind of going job. Yes, of course, teachers are required in colleges like us, isn't it? Engineering colleges require teachers. So those who are interested in teaching can join teaching job, or those who are interested in working for a company, they can take up um, IT kind of jobs, no doubt. It is not that all women can be entrepreneurs, all women engineers can be teachers, all women may not like to work for IT companies. So it goes on interest. But encouragement should be given to women to take up entrepreneurship. It is for the growth of economy of the country.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for delivering such a nice talk. And these
Good
were the
morning,
few
madam.
questions.
Good morning,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, good morning.
Madam Krishnananda, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ madam? How are you?
Krishnanand. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man.
Yes.
Nice to hear you and see you after a long time, at least online.
Yes.
Madam, to add to all this women entrepreneurship and other things, there is Awake in Karnataka, Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka, which is like a NGO. People can even make use of that. AWAKE, Awake.
Okay.
Association of Women Entrepreneurs in Karnataka.
Yes.
Actually, that provides, especially even for rural women, it provides a lot of financial and technical help for doing that self employment and entrepreneurship. And there is Rootset from Dharmasthala, from Virendra. That also helps a lot for even small scale businesses and other things.
Yes.
And now after this new, the central government has come into from 2014, ma'am, they have started this Mudra Yojana, Prime Minister Mudra Yojana, through which also the entrepreneurs will get a lot of subsidies even for startups and other things. Especially for women entrepreneurs, there are a lot of scope from central government now. A lot of schemes are available. And as you said, if really the people are little adventurous and would like to explore more, I mean, those girls and women can really take up these opportunities and do it. I just wanted to add to that.
Yes. True. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishnananda.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Dear participants, the next session will start at sharp 11:15 a.m. by Professor UP Kulkarni, sir, on the topic Academic Preparation for Skill Development as per NEP 2020. So at sharp 11:15, we have a second session. And dear all participants, please fill the attendance link which is posted in the chat box of session 1. Please stay tuned.
Preeti, I'm leaving the call. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Hello, Sidlingesh.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, I'm audible.
Yes, sir. At sharp 11:15, we'll start the session, sir.
Okay, but see,
A hearty welcome to you, sir, for this refresher program.
madam. Okay, I'm just checking that my screen is visible now.
Yes, it's visible, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Uh, Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome you, sir, to
Good
this
morning. Thank you.
session 2 of day 5. Welcome you all, my dear participant. Let us start the session 2 of day 2 by Professor UP Kulkarni, sir, Head of the Department of Computer Science, SDMCET, Dharwad. Before he start his session, I request Chanakya Madam to introduce sir to the participants.
Good morning to all. Myself, Channaka Lakarnawar, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of E&C, STM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Now I am going to introduce eminent resource person, Professor UP Kulkarni sir, Department of CSE, STM CT, Dharwad, who is going to throw a light on the topic academic preparation for skill development as per NEP 2020. Dr. Umakant P. Kulkarni sir is a professor and head in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at STM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad, Karnataka, India. He has obtained his Bachelor of Engineering in CSE department in the year 1989 from Karnataka University, Master of Engineering in CSE department in the year 1991 from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, and PhD from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Sir has guided several UG, PG, and PhD students. He has conducted several workshops, training programs in the CSE domain, and especially in outcome-based education. Sir has published several papers and obtained copyrights in the specific area of stream processing and OBE framework related work. He has completed one AICTE funded project of 9.5 lakhs. His area of interest includes distributed systems and applications, preservative and ubiquitous computing, software agents, and NBA/NACC accreditation based on OBE framework. Presently, he is the coordinator of NBA at college level. So by this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Shall I begin now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. This session will be coordinated by Professor Preeti from your end. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Right. So audio, video related things, right? You keep track of that. And frequently when I ask a question to all public, you keep on responding yes, no, something like that. So that I feel that the connection is active, right?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Otherwise, I should not feel that I'm standing in front of a white wall and talking to somebody, right? Where nobody is there, right? So
Yes.
you will be responding a question I ask to the public, right? You will be answering yes or no, right? And
Yes.
in between, you will be picking their questions and asking me anytime, right? Anytime, any question, okay, any
Yes, sir.
length, right? No
Sure,
issue.
sir. Sure.
Yeah. With this understanding, I'll share my screen and I request all the participants, right, feel free to ask question at any point of time, right? And the screen is visible,
Yes, sir.
right? Right. So today's session is an academic preparation for skill development as per NEP 2020. So here there are a few important terms that we need to look into. Skill development is an ability. I mean, skill, different people interpret this in different way. There's an ability to do something, right? It may be at the knowledge level, but when we talk about the skill, it's more of an experiential learning. Okay, I will touch upon this. And NEP 2020, we need to look into, right? These are all different, the terms that we hear in the educational sector, but the core part that remains same, okay, and which we know from several decades, right, guys? So let me address upon these things, and I'll be talking to you about NEP 2020, keeping on what institution or what department is supposed to do on skill development, right? There's a concept. Then outcome-based education is a core component of NEP 2020 also, right? If not, right, I mean, if not understood properly, we will touch upon that how NEP 2020, okay, give the emphasis on outcome-based education. That's the one thing. And also, right, our department team, right, they have published a paper recently on NEP framework for computer science and engineering, which I would like to touch upon that. Okay, my co-authors, team members include Indira Umarji, Vidya Gauri, Himadri Kulkarni, Rashmi Etinika, Raghunath Adwad, and myself, right? So this is the scope, okay, of this coverage. And the focus, please remember, skill development. How do I do? What do you mean by this skill development? How do I do it in my program? How do I embed that in my curriculum? How do I embed that one in my course plan and all? We talk about currently we are doing a curriculum revision as per NEP 2020. How do I integrate this? That's a very important thing, right? Is it that what we are doing is really NEP 2020? Are you sure about this? Right? So the answer you will all will be telling once you go through that one. Are we NEP 2020 or are we simply telling NEP 2020 and doing something what is that we wanted it, right? All that will be cleared now, right? Preeti madam, right? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Oh, that's good, right?
Okay.
Right, that's good. Maybe different speaker might have referred NEP 2020 in different perspective, right? But please look into that, these things. See, NEP 2020, right? People say, it is true, right? They talk about employment. They talk about learn how to learn. They talk about how to think. They talk about creative and multidisciplinary aspects. They talk about innovative, adapt, absorb. And more important thing is they talk about the pedagogy. See, the most important thing today, we are teaching 4 credit into 3 credit. Like, how do I accommodate 4 credit contents into the 3 credit? This is one of the biggest challenge for all faculty members, right? And one and only one answer is pedagogical reforms we must do. Until unless we understand how do I explain about myself in 1 minute or 10 hours, if I don't know this, right, then it becomes very difficult. Right. One of the pillar stone, one of the pillar, for this NEP 2020, right, is, right, experiential learning, discovery-oriented learning, right, discussion-based, flexible learning and all those things, right? So all those things, mainly experiential learning make, right, the skill development or the ability enhancement, right, of students, right? Now please look at the placement. When we certify that one, our attainment is almost 100%. When everyone pass, then why don't people, right, get recruited? Everyone should get recruited, right? The company people will enter the campus with the mindset that they want to recruit as many as who are eligible. Then the question is that one is about the ability, right? Then are they able to do, right? One and only one mantra, right? What you can do. When you look at the course outcome writing, of a part of an OB, what it speaks, course outcomes, are nothing but learning intents. They speak about, right, what the skill or what the ability a particular student has to demonstrate once after completing that particular course, right? So course outcomes, if they are not taught properly, if they are not understood properly, if they are not scripted properly, if they are not implemented or executed properly, and to tell you about that, if at all we make a fun of outcome-based education, academic fun of writing course outcome, right? Then there is no meaning of experiential learning. There is no meaning of enhancing ability or building certain ability or a skill, the knowledge, right? Hope you all people, right, endorse the statement of, Swami Vivekananda, right? The great person that this country has seen. He says, knowledge can be got one and only one way, the way of an experience. There is no other way. That means if I wanted to claim that I'm able to do, I'm a skilled one, right? I must do something, right? So the days are gone where people go to classroom, Okay, speak hours together and make a student to write hours together. Days are gone, right? Really, this is the transformation, right? If you wanted to build, okay, skill-enabled learning in a classroom, right? First thing is stop talking in the classroom. Professor Preeti, madam.
Yes, sir.
Professor,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay, the skill development, or you wanted to enhance ability, the first thing is stop talking in the classroom, right? It should not be taken literally. What is that? Is that make a student to do something, right? Until unless we make the student to,
Years of teaching experience.
I
So
request, I request the
here,
people to mute all mic.
10 plus 1, 11 years.
I request all
Taught
participants.
CCN
Preeti, madam. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Muted, sir. Muted.
Okay. Thank you. Right. So until unless I reforms my curriculum, right, to focus on outcome-based education, truly develop an infrastructure, develop a mindset of like a teacher and administrator, right, on course outcome, the skill development, ability enhancement doesn't make a sense. That's why when you look at the outcome, right, they are nothing but what student can do. That's all. What student can do. So you need to have a proper infrastructure, right? Until unless you give a sufficient infrastructure, sufficient time for the students, to do something, right, and give a course project, you give them assignment where they can implement and do something, right? If this experiential component of NEP is not understood, right, and say that when we are doing NEP, doesn't make a sense, right? That's so. For this introduction, let me begin. Why NEP? Right? I do understand. Okay, the title that whatever that we have. Okay, I go back. Right? Okay, I go back. I'm sorry. I go back 1 minute. Right? Just a minute. Okay, I'm taking. Right? Academic preparation for skill development. Skill development is a part. Okay, focused. Okay, point here. Okay, I'm talking all about. Right. Okay. With this, let me get into the next one. Right. So, I mean, again, okay, as a part of an ability enhancement, need to talk about current state of learning outcomes. I mean, look at that, the gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is required. There is a huge gap. People talk about that. What exactly is that? Probably the outcome, whatever that we write for every course, probably may not reflecting skill development. Right? Okay. And if at all we write a skill development related things, right, okay, it may not be supported by infrastructure. It is really fun, right? Okay, the teaching programming language in the theory class. It's very funny, right? How do you teach swimming in the classroom? Right? You need a swimming pool, right? But how do you manage? That's why it says NEP 2020 focuses more on development of infrastructure. Right? Maybe a claim may be that it may not be possible. Okay, sorry. Okay, that cannot be the statement. Right? So you find that one again not having an adequate infrastructure, right, to fill the gap of a current state of learning outcomes and what is required. That's what NEP speaks about that. And people talk about that NEP, right? You have to bring reforms, right? Reforms. So when you bring a reform, okay, teacher must be the center of a reform that whatever you do, right? Fine. How to being related and all. I'll not speak much about this particular thing, right? It is the most respected element of the society, right? Empower teachers, right? I mean, look at the next point is, right, autonomy, right? Okay, until autonomy and accountability that goes together, right? But somewhere we have to initiate that, right? Initiate that to bring the reforms truly in skill development, right? What kind of an autonomy that we think about, right? Say, for example, assume that I'm taking a Java programming course, right? Okay, maybe in every institution you have a internal exam, 1, 2, 3, right? Then semester end exam, something like that, right? If a teacher decide, okay, let me do the assessment of all these students, right, through course project, right? Is it permitted? Right? Is it permitted? Right? So if that's not permitted, if that kind of reforms we do not get into, then talking about truly the skill development, right? Academic reforms for skill development as a part of NEP 2020 has no meaning. We do traditionally whatever that okay we are doing and giving a new cap of NEP 2020, right? So that is not the NEP 2020, right? Reforms, simple labels are not reforms. The ground reality is something again we need to look into, right? So that's what we talk about this, right? Now what change an education institution can do, right? I remember, I mean, look at the title, right? Skill development under NAP 2020, right? So can you provide a wide range of learning experience, right? Through choice, right? Which a choice adds to truly a student learning, right? In fact, yesterday, I mean, I was talking about right the one of my alumni who passed in 2013 about the quantum computing, right? So the different learning experience, multidisciplinary learning experience, and it's a flavor to computational environment, right? It is not only right the different domain, but how it is connected with your domain. The wide range of learning experience, multidisciplinary, quantum computing, right? One best example, right? Good physical infrastructure. Just now I was talking about that, right? Majority of us we teach, right, in the classroom, right? And less emphasis on right experiential learning because of lack of infrastructure. May not be possible to purchase, create infrastructure where 150 plus students can work on that. That's what is usually we speak about that. Of course, that is one of the constraints under which we work, we do understand. But slowly, incrementally, right, developing the infrastructure where majority of the things go on, right, experiential learning, right, track is necessary, right? Yes. Then, right, the another important aspect is right seamless integration and coordination across the institutions. This is a very difficult aspect until we gel with each other, right? Probably, okay, a particular chapter in right a particular course, maybe your colleague, a very good expert, right, in other institution, right, and you are expert in other chapter, right? You claim. So is it that okay? You collaborate, you teach to all students, your student and their student, and okay, your friend teach to their student as well as your student in a collaborative way. Can we do that? So do we have such seamless integration and all? Right? That's what NEP speak about that. Why do you do the seamless integration? See, all this what education institution can do. What for? I can make the student industry ready. When we talk about the industry readiness, what is that? It is an ability to do. How do we claim that? It is outcome, right? Define an outcome and make use of that, right? Thus, if we make a fun of the outcome-based education, then this okay, ability enhancement or ability, right, or the skill, whatever we talk, doesn't make a sense at all, right? So we need to recognize, identify, foster the unique capabilities of each student, right? This. So this is what education institution can do in skill development, right? So look at the some other perspectives of ability enhancement, providing flexibility, right? I mean, in a sense, right? More and more electives where the student can choose their own learning trajectories. A very nice term used by NEP, learning trajectories, right? See, okay, there is one more thing, right? I'll somewhere I mention about that somewhere. I'll go to that particular thing and come back. 1 minute. Somewhere it is there. I'll come back. Just a minute. Yeah, right. 1 minute. A rigid separation of discipline with early specialization and streaming of students into narrow area of study, right? Narrow area of study, okay, is an against, right, the principle of NEP 2020, right? I'll come back to that later. So why don't we, as a part of, I'll go back just a minute, wait. Yeah. When we build a learning trajectories, right, can I build, right, okay, the give of flexibility for a student, they learn core computer science and engineering. I'm speaking about my domain. Core, let them learn. All elective learning trajectories are based on trending things. One of the trajectory could be data science centric trajectories. Another trajectory could be the AI and ML, okay, related trajectories. The other one could be algorithmic approach trajectories. Then can we have a research-based trajectories and all these things, right? So the core and learning trajectories put together, you can perceive, right, computer science and engineering, okay, kind of things. So learning trajectories are the most important thing. Okay, in simpler terms, we refer it as right, streams and all, right, different streams, right? When you give an opportunity for them, okay, by clearly defining the trajectories, okay, they can enhance their ability in focused areas, right? This, okay, electives, okay, they are not, one elective is not connected with other electives, right? Then look at the other important reforms that is required for the skill enhancement, right? Is to, okay, move away pretty far from rote learning to, right, experiential learning, right? So that is the examination reforms required. How do you bring it, right? What is that you gain by, okay, having a written type of examinations? Can we come out with a hybrid mode of examinations? For example, you have internal exam 1, 2 of written type, right, where people have an habit of writing for, okay, where they can write elaborated answers and all. Can we have another internal exams, uh, right, where it is a competitive type of examinations? Then can you have another type of, okay, major 50% emphasis on other thing is, okay, like the course project evaluation, right? So it is a hybrid, all mixtures and things are there, right? Why do you make students sit for 3 hours and write again written type of exam? What is the assessment tool that we have? Again, we ask about the assessment tool. What is that we are assessing? Rote learning, right? This is one of the biggest transformation that every autonomous, okay, institution or universities should bring when, if really they wanted to, okay, focus on the ability enhancement in the students. Do something, project, right? Course project. So the examination transformations are necessary, right? In order to enhance skill-based learning or automatics, right? Then enable creativity and critical thinking, right? And if you look at the course outcome, I told you that one, okay, the writing course outcome is the central point of any skill development. You state what kind of things that your student, okay, wanted to learn by doing, right? I give an example for that, way for that, right? It needs an infrastructure, I told you, right? We do not get into higher levels of critical thinking because we are preparing students for rote learning. We are preparing, okay, students for learning for exams. If you want to get away from this, enabling skills in them, the first thing is reduce the weightage for learning for exams, right? Learning for doing, learning for demonstrating certain skills, right? And simplest approach is you remove semester and exam, replace it by course project demonstration. So when you introduce a course project evaluation in every course, right, uh, in place of semester and exam, right, you have a written type 1 2 IAs, then you have competitive examination type of, okay, I number 3, okay, then you have a semester and examination, okay, evaluation of course project, you have a hybrid kind of things, all kinds of an assessment tool, right, okay, you are going through. Now today we go through only one assessment tool that is called written type of exam. I know, okay, minor, little less weightage for other things that is seen in few few institutions, right? So transformation is required, right? For this skill-based things. Wait, okay, let me refer to one WhatsApp, okay, message and talk about that. Right. It is the title given to me, okay, academic preparation for skill development. Academic preparation, right, is the thing I'm telling you about the transformation. Examination transformation. Flexibility, what you view, or the autonomy view, that transformation. Right? Then course outcome, that transformation. Right? Then freedom for the teachers, that transformation. That's what is the preparation. Right? Skill development. Otherwise, right, it is not the skill development. It is a rote learning and learning for exams. Right? Yes. Other things I will not touch upon that. Now look at that again, skill development, what people can do, right? So whatever the ability that you have, until unless you communicate with others, until unless you communicate with others, right? You are not a good engineer, right? What is the emphasis on communication? What is the percentage of weightage is given in your curriculum on communication, right? Look at that. When people do assignment, do they give presentation, right? When they do the course, do they present all the things? Your limited weightage, right? Limited weightage on communication and working in a team. If you look at the premier institution, almost every course has a course project. Almost every course, okay, do, okay. Just a minute, there is a call for me. I'll come back. Sorry for the disturbance to all participants, right? Right. So what I'm talking is, right, academic preparation, right? Change a curriculum, right? Change the curriculum to course project, okay, evaluation based on presentation, every course has a presentation, and in every primary institution, every course has a course project. Why don't we do it? And the response for this many times may be, no, for our kind of student, it may not be possible. Okay, try it. When you talk about the course project, it is not that a vehicle which will take you in 3 seconds on the moon. No. Whatever the nature of the version, you take and think of the course project, you do it. And when the course project, they do it, they learn about everything. For example, we talk about the full stack development today in computer science and engineering. Or we talk about the product development. Okay, we have a software engineering. Now what you do is give them a problem statement, let them learn requirement, design, testing, programming, right? Report writing, installations, right? Everything. And ask them to give a presentation. Right? You need not have to teach how to build a front end, but you can give a handholding. They do learn the product, okay, tools, they build a GUI and they'll show to you. That learning is more valuable, and that's how the primary institution students have different capabilities. We're talking about the skill development. Okay, we're talking about the ability of a student, right? What they can do, right? We need to bring this transformation in curriculum, right? Right. There is another thing, right? We talk about the, okay, we focus on regular formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment. And when we do something, we claim that when we do summative assessment, right? Okay, now look at that. The summit, see here, what is that we encourage? Coaching culture. We do not guide individually. They're learning through the whatever the outcome we measure on particular student. Individual student-based learning outcome patterns and guiding them, it doesn't happen because the classroom size is very big. Right? Hope that people understand. Right? A regular continuous assessment and giving a feedback to every individual student what correction is required. We do conduct exam in the name of continuous assessment and announce the result and leave it truly because of the workload pattern. Right? When you bring a outcome education, I'll tell you that one, a traditional workload like a 2 theory, some laboratory, 3 theory, some laboratory doesn't work. right? For a given course and given a class strength of 75, assume you give 4 assignments and try to evaluate 4 assignment individual student, right, with deeper learning and feedback. Do you think that is possible? Right? So outcome education in a true sense, to tell you, okay, one of the Kannada word, adanu marichike. Right? That's how things are getting into. Are we really into outcome-based education? I don't understand it so. Right? We project it that we are doing outcome-based education, but in true sense not. So in true sense, right, you bring a major academic reform for the skill development. The outcome-based education truly implemented with the support of, right, the infrastructure, with the support of what is academic work load pattern that is required, you can bring a big change in them, right? So you guide learning rather than quantifying the educational outcomes. Look at the cursor here, right? What is that we do? We quantify educational outcomes. We don't guide their learning outcomes. Learning, unfortunately, this is the truth. Okay, there are exceptions always. Okay, for good things and for bad things, right? When people talk about teaching methodology, right? Do we go out of the box ideas? That's how the self-learning concept came into the picture. How do you encourage, right, fast learners? Right? How do you encourage? There are different strategies, right? Out of the box ideas, right? How do you bring it? Right? Do you have a freedom? Do you have an autonomy? Right? Right? So whatever the autonomy we talk about, that is different, right? Then whatever the autonomy of transforming university into a college autonomous status is not the autonomy. When it doesn't go up to the level of a teacher, right? We don't call this an autonomy. But the thing is that teachers are supposed to exhibit a maturity. Are we? In absence of that, it becomes difficult to provide autonomy. And when you cannot give an autonomy, like true skill development goes in a limited sense. This is my view. But in spite of existing things, there are many teachers who make an attempt in developing skills. That's a great. It's happening, right? It's happening. Just a minute, again, there's a call. I need to take it. Please wait. Sorry for the disturbance. Hello? Session. Right. We are talking about we are talking about the academic preparation for skill development as per NP 2020. Hope that we have got a lot of things about this NP 2020. This is the transformation that is required. Right? Now let's get into other aspects of this. Right? What are the current issues? Quickly, I'll not spend much about that. Right? A skill development ability that is possible, right? Provided we have a qualified faculty to drive outcomes, at an industry level, to provide hands-on training programs, not go to the classroom and give a nice seminar on that. Then I told you about the teaching methodology, right? Can you integrate experiential learning, evaluation techniques? Can you go for design thinking? Can you go for project-based assessment and all? Right? So in absence of that, it becomes very difficult. Right? That's what is being said in one of the report. Right? So we find enough growth in technical education, but the number of quality graduate acceptable to industry, right? Always the people complain, industry complain, right? So always industry and academia chat people talk about that, right? Is it true? Right? When we step in the shoes of industry, it appears true. Right? When we interact with our own alumni and ask them what reforms that is required, right? They tell enough number of transformation that is required, right? So out of that, one of the major things is teaching methodology and evaluation techniques, right? good days of 3 hours, okay, written type exam monitored by surveillance camera doesn't go good, right? Can you think about the optics? It's really not all, right? Make semester exam open book test. Then look into that open book test, right? And look, right, what kind of transformation it brings. First transformation it brings is, right, what, how to set a question paper for that. So once you understand how to set a question paper for open book test, you have really understood the outcomes. When you understood the outcomes, right, and you are ready to conduct the open book test, right, naturally, skill enhancement always happens. Skill enhancement doesn't happen for preparing, okay, learning for exams or rote learning. Doesn't happen, right? Zero rote learning or zero, okay, learning for exams, because our exam is of the different type. Always we are preparing for that, and at the same time we want to bring a transformation in skill development, right? It will not happen together. I'll simply keep on skipping something. Right now, the H5, okay, Professor H5 report also speak about that. Now, before NDP 2020 also, student passing out from the institution without obtaining right kind of skill, right? That is really required in a real world environment. This speaks about, okay, that we have not defined the outcome properly. Course outcome. We did not exercise our autonomy properly. We do not have infrastructure properly. Right? If this is true, it may not be in all cases. I'm talking in general, not a case study of any particular institution. Not at all. Right? Now look at the other thing. A lack of an ability to examine and understand real world. Right? Thereby making students not ready for industry requirements. So what are industry requirements? Can you translate that in writing outcomes? That's great. So let's talk about that. Can you bring change? Yes. How? Okay. Bring change in competency of the teacher. Please remember, competency is not a degree. Competency is not a BTech. Competency is not an MTech. Competency is not a PhD. Supposed to be, in fact, right? But unfortunately, today we are seeing that they do not gel with each other. Right? Competency, right? I think nowadays not related to degree, right? Which is supposed to be. I'm sorry for making this statement. In my personal view, right? Teaching methodology, right? The way we drive the subject in the class. I repeated this many times. Constrained by the infrastructure, right? The thing is that people talk about that. Do you use ICT tools? My question to you is that one: do every individual teacher is given a laptop where they demonstrate something and show it in front of the student for many of the courses, rather than a blackboard writing? Laptop is not for PPT show, right? Run it, it runs on its own. Keep on reading it. No. Right? Right. Then the most important thing is quality of question paper. What kind of question you set, right? It depends on your competency, your teaching methodology, and that will make, and also depends on the infrastructure, and that is the brand of a teacher. I tell you, please make a note of this, particularly who are there in SDMCT. They can come and meet me. I'll show you, tell you, right? So in my department, see, people got the highest salary, and midnight, those set of students, they call me and say, right, sir, this is because of a particular teacher, okay, in the department, right? Because of that, we are very confident to face the interview and we got it. So nice. After hearing my colleague's name, remember, I'm telling you my colleague's name. I felt so happy, right? And I interacted with that colleague also, right? So, right, your attitude, your approach towards dealing with the subject, okay, ensuring that students like it, they understand, right? Your pedagogy make a student to understand or not to understand. Your approach make them to understand or not to understand. Right? Your concern make them to understand or not understand. And that is one of the important transformation required, right, on the top of competency, that is the teaching methodology. Right? That's why probably majority of you belong to Karnataka state, I hope so. Right? Yes, okay, listen to one of video of Giriraj Karchiki, who is a teacher. Teacher should have three attributes. One is, right, they love their profession. Second one is they love their course, whatever they are handling. Third thing is they love their students as much as minimum as much as their children. Beautiful things. So when teacher transforms, right, skill enhancement is possible. If a teacher do not, that's what in computer science and engineering and operating system we say. However, parallel programming that we do, if underlying hardware that it do not support, multi-core architecture is not supporting, right, thus that doesn't exist. To support parallel programming you are written, the performance improvement is not possible at all. Right? The skill development, ability enhancement, right, the underlying architecture of infrastructure, faculty competency, the way the faculty deal with that is in the classroom teaching methodology, freedom given for them, their ownership, their concern to their student. If this multi-core architecture do not exist, right, no matter what skill development you are talking, a parallel programming, a comparison, right? A program cannot run faster at all. Running a program faster is nothing but skill enhancement, right? So the title is very apt: academic preparation, prepare for competency, prepare for newer teaching methodology, prepare for quality of question paper in that, prepare for higher level of critical thinking, prepare infrastructure for that. If you're talking about ability enhancement with the existing infrastructure, right? You think of something, okay, designing a vehicle which takes you, okay, on the moon in 3 seconds. It doesn't work, right? Hope you people, right, are convinced with this. Now look at that. When we talk about the skill enhancement, right, what NLP speaks, major problems. Look at the listing B. Less emphasis on the development of cognitive skills and learning outcomes. Right? See, this is one of the major fundamental bottleneck. One of the fundamental bottleneck is the infrastructure support and the teacher competency. I'm not saying the bottleneck is in terms of degrees. Today we have enough number of PhDs. That is nothing to do with this. Right? When you talk about the skill development, right, we don't talk about the PhD, MTech and BTech. Right? Many people in the Google, okay, they are the without any degree. Right? Without any degree. They don't have any degrees. But it doesn't mean that I'm not advocating that. What is that I'm talking is transformations, learning outcomes. Look at another thing that what academic preparation that is required is, right, institutional autonomy or the teacher's level autonomy. Institutional level autonomy should get transformed into teacher's level autonomy. If that is not the case, okay, true, okay, skill development doesn't happen. But that autonomy comes with, right, monitoring, controlled autonomy, right, audits and all, right? Fine. That's what I mean. Look at the point number J. Large affiliating institutions resulting in low standards of undergraduate education. We are not talking about that. Industry is talking and NEP is talking. So skill development, you wanted to do it. You wanted to, okay, enhance the standard of learning, right? You wanted to make everyone industry ready, right? You wanted 100% passing percentage. True passing percentage, I'm not talking, but the projected passing percentage, right? What is that is required? Core thing is bring transformation, academic transformation, right? What is academic transformation? transformation, I am repeating several times. What is academic transformation or what is academic preparation? Right? Competency of a teacher, teaching methodology, right? Then infrastructure. If these three you address, fine. Naturally, okay, you have a right skill development naturally happens. Right? Skill development naturally happens. Please focus on all these things. Right? So effective learning for skill development happens with these reforms. Right? What academic preparation is required? First thing is appropriate curriculum relevant today. Right? It is not theoretical teaching. Okay, experiential learning. Experiential learning embedded fully in curriculum. Autonomy is embedded fully in the curriculum. A teacher can decide what kind of test I need to do. Okay, is it a written type? Is it a code project? Okay, is it okay design thinking? How need to evaluate? When I have to do it? What weightage is given for assignment? What weightage is to be given for the project and all? If all this a teacher can decide, and that is called autonomy. Is autonomy teachers have it in? Okay, is it embedded in curriculum? Pedagogy, right? That's the most important thing, right? Do you have a ICT support for guiding learning rather than simply measure attainment of outcome and project it? My attainment is at this level. What is the use of that, right? So until okay, you have this, right? You cannot meet learning outcomes. Ability enhancement is one of the outcomes. That's why when you write a course outcome, you write at the end of the course, students will be able to do. Able to do. What is that? Right? Is an ability to do is nothing but a skill. Skill in using tools, skill, right? Skilled one in using tools, skilled one in design, skilled one in conceiving the whole systems and all. Skills in testing tools, skills in deployment. What is that? Right? So that's how, right, we need to look into all these things. Right? Right. Now, I'd like to share with you about NEP under okay OBE. Pretty madam, I have a time till 12:45. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I have got another 45 minutes. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Another till
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So, okay, at 12:45, I'll stop and keep the floor open for a question answer.
Sure, sir. Sure. Okay, sir.
Now let's look into, right? I'm reminding myself all the time, right? What is the title given to me? Academic preparation for skill development. So we have okay, pinpointed skill development needs certain transformations. So one of the transformation is writing course outcomes. Why? Right? This everyone know. Right? Do I script my teaching learning process in my classroom at the bottom of this particular pyramid? That is practice by doing. If that is the case, then you are enabling student to acquire all abilities in your course. Abilities are defined in terms of course outcomes. But unfortunately, today what's happening is, okay, look at that. We are at the top of this particular pyramid. We simply talk in the class and leave it. Right? Or in the name of a practice, give an assignment which doesn't have a relevance at all. And we do not evaluate many times because evaluating for 75 students for one course and 150 for the two courses, that is very difficult for a course teacher in terms of the workload. Really difficult. Right? If at all you wanted to go at the reasonable depth, when you do not do the evaluation properly and okay, claim the attainment and all, how does? Are you really preparing? My outcome, it doesn't reflect into placement. Right? Doesn't make sense at all. Why some of the students are not getting accepted? If your attainment is claimed as 98%, 98% of the students should get like admitted, right? Somewhere, right? In some company. right? That's right. Now I'd like to touch upon what is the OBE philosophy here to enable skill development. Right. You talk about OBE. OBE is required where you wanted to have a certain competence and performance to be exhibited by student to perform particular role effectively. What competence? I student go through right VHDL, assume that. After going to that particular training program, VHDL, what you wanted them to do, what competency, what performance they want to exhibit. Please write it and prepare them. Right? So most of the courses are to be taught through right the practical components. That's why 302 model. 302 is not a laboratory based course. 3 theoretical things, theory, 0 tutorial, 2 practice based learning. They practice it. Where do they practice? They need not practice in the laboratory dedicated for that. They may practice in their own system also. Because nowadays it is supported by, okay, where do they practice? There need not be any dedicated lab slot for that. They may come in the evening when the free slot is there, work in the department laboratory. It is it is not non-monitored sessions. But 302, last two component, a teacher spend the time to evaluate every individual. Right? That's people have to understand properly, then the things can get into. We know it now already I told. Knowledge can only be got in one way, the way of an experience. There is no other way. Simply you listen from somebody that your guru right has told something. Because my guru has told something, okay, the sky is blue. No. Right? In Adhyatma, it is being very clearly told, okay, you need to experience. Your teacher, your guru might have told what is a God, but until unless you explain about the God, it doesn't make sense at all. Right? Today we talk about everyone, each one of us, we talk about the God, right? It is equivalent to, okay, you talk about the coffee where you are not tasted the coffee at all. Is it that in your course also, the course teacher, you must have experienced it, or you have made a student to experience by doing it. Then only.
Professor, this is Parvati here.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Sorry for disturbing.
Right now, you can ask.
Right now, because this seems to be very significant. This quote and whatever you said, it seems very logical. It's very correct in a sense. But then this raises a fundamental question: what for are colleges and teachers existing there? Why can't people directly join the industry or whatever trades they are trying, learn there and get their skills? What for are these institutions meant for?
Right. Okay, I'll tell you. The institutions are meant for enabling the learning by experience to happen. Right. Make a student to learn by doing certain things. Right. That doing certain things, it is at par with the ability that is required in the industry. Right. That's what. Less of theoretical approach, more of practical approach. That's what the experiential learning component of NEP is speaking all about. That's why transformation. That's why the laboratory. That's why the internal core teacher level assessment component. That's why teaching different assessment types and all assessment. This one. There are different models people are coming out in that one. Right. So this is what the NEP talks about that. So we don't say that it is not being done earlier before NEP or before OB. It is being done. It is being done. Right? People wanted to put it in a more structured way. Whatever that is being done, put it in a structured way. If it is not being done, follow the structure. That's what I perceive it. Parvati sir, I think I have answered to your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what. But the difference between the learning on job and learning in a training institution like ours, like any college, you really distinguish.
Yeah. You have asked. You have hit a right point. Okay, training institutions, okay, are preparing, okay, for the immediate need. Okay, all engineering colleges and all, we are making them an engineer. Okay, we are making them a fundamental understand it properly. Simple example to quote right here. Okay, I make a student to write a C programming training institution, right? But in engineering institution, engineering college, we teach them a programming principles, programming design, right? Simple example to tell is, okay, parameter passing in training institution, they tell pass parameter, okay, it works. But in teaching in, I mean, engineering college, we tell them that one, why this kind of parameter passing, okay, we do. How does internally it works, right? How does in a machine, parameters are being referred. C programming supports only call by value. This majority of the people don't know. A teaching institution will not address on principles of programming language, but we do address. That is the difference between training institution and engineering colleges. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This has to be made clear to all our teachers.
Yes, sir. This is what engineering colleges, they go an engineering perspective of every course. You take any course, there is an engineering perspective. A programming language, it has the engineering perspective called programming principles, programming style, programming procedures and all. So without knowing that, if at all we start programming, we become a teaching institution. As Parvati sir rightly said, right, every teacher must know about this, right? That's why bring them an experience about fundamental core, fundamental engineering, right? Here is one example just we quoted. When I talk about the programming language, I talk about principles, right? C programming supports only call by value. No other programming, no other parameter passing exists, right? This very few people know, and I need to demonstrate by doing a program. Look, because of this, it is called as call by value, right? It is not called by reference, which is wrongly understood. The difference I have to bring it, show how it is internally implemented, and then give them assignments so that people can use, right? That's what experiential learning, okay, is start from smaller things to the bigger things, right? Right. Now look at that. I talk about the freedom. I talk about the autonomy, right? Now look at that. This is the very important cartoon that everyone knows about that. Right? Can I do have an autonomy where I script different assessment tool for different set of people? Maybe some set of people it is through implementation. For some set of people, okay, it is through like maybe routine written type of things and all. If I can script based on the different learning capabilities of a student, that is what the NEP wanted it. That's what OD speaks about that. Yes. Okay, I'll skip other things which is not required. Right. I was talking about the course outcome. Okay. If there, I mean, when you want to prepare a student for skill, right, or you talk about the academic preparation for right skill, right, whatever you talk. Let me again refer the title: academic preparation for skill development. Fine. The root of all this transformation required in writing course outcomes. And this course outcome will influence your infrastructure. This course outcome will influence your budget. This course outcome will influence the competence of a teacher. Anybody cannot go, okay, and start teaching, okay, anything, right? Okay, I know Java programming, right? Doesn't mean that I can go and teach until unless I understand the learning intents, understand the industry readiness required, understand what is the teaching methodology that I need to use it. Simple example I would like to quote, right? Look at the course outcome written from bottom to top. Bottom, create own composition in music. Tell me, how do you have a written examination for this? You need an infrastructure, you need a laboratory, you need assessment tool where it allows me a freedom where I, okay, assess this. It doesn't, okay, go, okay, eat a traditional workload pattern. Okay, if my student class strength is 75 students, how do I assess the composition created by different people? Very difficult, right? OBE, okay, insist for, okay, improved teaching learning, sorry, the staff, okay, student faculty ratio. student faculty ratio, it is an improved one in a true sense when you want to look into that. A compromised skill or the academic things, if you look at that, then you can talk about SFR of whatever the level that you wanted it. Okay, that is a different thing. That's why that when we talk about the OBE, when you talk about the skill development, when you talk about the transformation, right, it speaks about right budget, infrastructure, autonomy for the students, sorry, faculty members, right. Now look at the fifth course outcome written. Prepare critics on musical concert. How can you have a question paper, printed question paper? My question paper is a video where I'll show the musical concert and I'll ask them prepare critics. Or there is some musical concert I organize, I make my student to participate in that one and prepare a concert. Critics on live concert. Video may be by question paper. Okay, may I need a proper infrastructure where I have built my own repository. Right? Do I have a repository of all these things? Yeah, that speaks about that. The transformation, academic preparation for skill development is thought in multi-dimensions. You can take the way you want it based on the school of thoughts that you believe. I'm telling about one belief. My belief, right, is right experiential learning, same in outcome-based education. That demands lesser and lesser workload. That demands rich infrastructure. That demands right the autonomy for a teacher, right? Until unless that is seen, experiential learning is, I don't say zero realization, I say miniature version of realization, which is insignificant today, what NEP is talking all about. Right? Now look at the fourth course outcome. If I write that, performing a musical concert, then what is my question paper? How do I assess 4, 5, and 6? This is the one of the course outcome, right? I have made people to write it in Goa government, right? Driven 3 days program driven by right Director of Higher Education for entire government state, entire Goa government state. Yes, this is one of the beautiful course outcome written for Indian classical music. Right, the session was conducted by me. It is a workshop. Right now, 4, 5, 6. What kind of infrastructure? What kind of question paper? What kind of budget that is required? Look into that. Right, that's how. Now, when I take my students truly through these course outcome, supported by infrastructure, supported by budget, supported by faculty competency or the enabled with faculty development, whatever it is there, right? Skill development naturally happens. I need not how to think skill development as an add-on additional things in my traditional curriculum design. No, it is a part and parcel of this, right? But faculty competency, right? Pedagogy, they are the important aspect that one is to look into that, right? So hope people are understanding all about this, right? Then now look at that. I was talking about course outcome writing, skill development, right? Skill, I think I visualize in terms of an ability to do, right? It could be instrument, it could be tool, right? It could be design level, it could be requirement level, it could be any level, like this, right? Now I get into one of the major transformation that is required in question paper. I told you course outcome, learning intents, right? Yes. Now, question paper. Right? Look at this. Most of us, we ask question like the way that is shown with the red color. What is refactoring? Explain the example. Everyone will write it. Everyone will write it. Get 10 out of 10. Get A grade. But when they go to the industry or when they face interview, people ask, can you do refactor this given example? People are stuck. This is what is an example quoted by Pankaj Jalote, right? The head of computer science department, IIT Kanpur. When I referred it, I don't know now. He worked in Infosys. Good. Experience that he has it, right? Where rather than asking the same question in different way, I'll read it for the benefit of all. Look, the same thing I can ask this. Identify the various quality issues that initiate refactoring of a given design, whose requirements are stated below. Apply refactoring in stages, justify each, and create the final class diagram. Requirement is very simple. Academic version. When we talk about the OBE, when you talk about the industry readiness, it is not that okay, large scale complex problem of industry we are doing it. Not necessary. We can think of an academic version which exactly fit into the kind of students that okay they take admission to our institution. Right? This is one of the okay the major challenge for the teachers. Right? Now, make students solve this. You are enhancing their ability to design. You are enhancing their ability to conceptualize. You are enhancing their ability to implement, ask them to implement this. Right? Assignments, CTE assignment or whatever the assignment, okay, you give a marks for internals, right? It should not be based on copying from the book and writing in a king size things and submit it. Those assignments should make some reasonable sense of near industry ready. I don't say exactly industry ready, near industry at least. Right? That's how we can get into transformation, academic preparation. Okay, please look into title academic preparation for skill development. If such preparation we can do, transformation we do in every course, right, ability enhancement automatically takes place. And please remember, right, for God's sake, do not teach theoretical things, right? So I, as an individual, my personal view, every course should have a laboratory assignments. There should not be any designated laboratory like this. Every course, 302 model, sufficient infrastructure. People work on that anytime, round the clock. Things can get into, right? So dream big, something will happen, right? Dream big is good, right? Dreaming very low is a sin, right? So when you dream big, at least 10% of that dream, if at all we implement, and something good will happen. The question is that one, right? Okay, our quality of our students are different. The students who take admission, they come from rural area, some area, this and all. They're all simply stories created, right? Created just to have an excuse, that's all. For the same set of people, smaller, miniature, baby steps, we can do it. Let's begin with a baby step. We don't say that one run, okay, 100 kilometers per hour. No. Right? Baby step of 1 meter per hour, but with a new framework work. Okay, that is will also do. Right? So first thing is that teacher should have an open mind to bring the transformations. Right? Simple example, the biggest question now people are asking everywhere, a 4 credit course, how can I teach in 3 credit? Right? That is the biggest challenge, I do understand. Okay, but we have to understand the pedagogy, the way our approach, right? Yes, fine, that is a different topic altogether. Now look at that, very interesting thing. Okay, skill development, okay, learning intents, higher levels of critical thinking, right? Enables you to be a skilled one, right? Enables you to be a competent one, right? Fine, right? Now look at that. For that, you need to understand critical thinking properly. So one of the very funny thing is that one, there are still many people who need to understand better, right way, right? The Bloom's taxonomy, right? Now here, look at that. Explain various quality scenarios that create a bottleneck for the system operation. Explain, right? May I ask Preeti, Professor Preeti Madam, a coordinator of this, right? Can
Yes, sir.
can the participant put in a chat answer for this in chat box? Which Bloom's level it stands for?
Sir, chat box open matters.
In a chat box, let all the participants put their answer, and I want the Preeti Madam to pick one of the answer and tell me. Explain various quality. Explain which Bloom's level it is. Let the people put it, and I want coordinator, session coordinator, madam.
Yes,
to
sir.
Tell me the answer posted by participants, not yours.
Vidya Soma, one of the participants, sir.
Hmm?
Vidya Somayaji, madam, understand. Answer is understand.
Okay, one of the participants said that it is understand level. Okay, I will note
Another participant, level 2.
level 2. What is that level 2?
One more part, level 2. Level 4. One more answer is from Parvati, sir. Level 4 analysis.
Level 4. Okay, right, right. Now look at that, right? See, here is a big difference in understanding, right? Critical thinking, right? Understanding critical thinking, right, is very much necessary here, right? So explain the various, explain is simply an English term. It doesn't speak about learning intent or critical thinking. What you explain, that will decide a critical thinking. So what is that you are explaining? Okay, what creates a bottleneck, right? System operation. It needs analyzing the given, right, systems thoroughly, right? So this is at level 4. This is not at level 1 or 2, right? So that's what I say, right? Understanding critical thinking, knowing how to write a course outcome, that will dictate, right? That will enable students' mind think altogether in different way, right? So one of the very important saying, my friend, my guru, okay, Jaitit Vadivi is my colleague of this. He speaks about that. Yad bhavam tad bhavi. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃತಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. The way that you make a student to think get translated into the actions, right? So introduce a baby step of experiential learning, right? If you don't okay, create environment, right, then how do students learn, right? Emphasize more on experiential learning through different type of questions, right? So if this is the question, you tell them, right, okay, I'm looking for the day. This is my personal opinion. It is a UP Kulkarni. It is not the professor and head of computer science department. No, the UP Kulkarni is looking, okay, for the day where question paper is displayed on the notice board 1 week before, and after that the exam begins. Very funny thing, right? Look at that eye display. Explain the various quality scenario that creates a bottleneck for the system operation. This I will display it on the screen, right? And the actual examination, right? This design I will change, right? This will, I'll keep it as it is. I'll give 5 mark. Then under 15 mark, I'll give it for the new design. So student know the question in advance, right? Right? Right. Open book test. Open book test. Right? Even in the open book test, I allow student, I mean, this is the dream, huh? Okay, don't think that I am doing this. Right. This is a caution. Even in the open book test, if at all anybody wanted to copy, I permit them. Copying is a different way. You go outside, discuss everything, solution, come back and write the solution. When you reproduce solution on the paper, it is your understanding you are writing on the paper. I want that finally. As long as you understand when, where, I don't care. Bring the transformations, right? Very difficult to get convinced with these things, right? No, this cannot go good and all. Okay, shuru to karo na. Start doing it. Let's see that what happens. I still remember, right, in PhD college technology, right, Coimbatore. It is autonomous institution long back, long back, long back, right, in the 80s, if I'm right, 85, 1985 or something, somewhere, right, 90s or somewhere, right? No, I have gone through. I mean, I approached one of my teacher, Joseph Matthews. Still I remember, advanced microprocessor. I said, sir, I want to go home. Said, go. Sir, but next week is exam. Write it. Sir, but I'm not there in the station. Write exam now only. Okay, you want to take exam now in corridor? He wrote question paper on the paper and gave it. Okay, you want to submit tomorrow, submit it. Otherwise, after you come back, you submit it. And when we look at the marks, they're all single digit. Got it? I mean, Open book test, we have seen long back. Very difficult to select the question paper. Very difficult for the tier first. Right? But accordingly, teaching has to happen in the class. Student preparation is to be done. Then only you can get into that. So experiential learning is getting into this way. So, right, can we have a baby step in that? Miniature version. Very, very miniature version. When we prepare a miniature version from the first sem, student mindset is prepared accordingly, fine-tuned accordingly, and then when they come to the departments and all, they can go in this new learning pattern. But if we suppress this, rote learning will get into, right? So transformation is required. Ability enhancement, the mindset is to be changed. Assessment tool is to be changed. The competency of a teacher should be different. Pedagogy must be different. Infrastructure should support all these things. Until unless we do this, using our autonomy, enhancing our competency, building the infrastructure, right? True sense skill development will not happen, but it happens, with lesser progressive path it gets into. Okay, fine. Thus, I'm sorry. Wait. This part is over, but not fully. Yes, wait for that. This is what the first part which I wanted to tell about NEP 2020 concepts. I told you by giving examples. Now we have a paper. I have fortunately, I have a very nice team. I thank my principal, my Dean Academic Program for making Vidya Gauri Hemadri or Vidya Gauri Kulkarni as a department NEP representative of my department along with me, right? She along with her team, right, have presented a paper, published in Scopus Index Journal. We enjoyed a lot, right? Part of those things I would like to share to you all people. It is not a paper as it is, right? It is not a paper as it is. It is the presentation, what we did it in our institution. The paper is different. Thanks to my team, headed by Vidya Gauri Hemadri Kulkarni, like this. So we talk about the multi-entry, multi-exit. We talk about the credit banks. We talk about the experiential learning, multidisciplinary approach, quality standards, flexibilities for students, for faculty. These are the 7 major component of NEP 2020. Right? Happens, not happens, prepared, not prepared, too early, too late. All that is different things for us. What is important is what did I understand from this? When I implement all these things is a different thing. It is controlled by the authorities, institution level authorities, university level authorities, government level authorities. We respect all these things. We need to respect. We don't have any other go. But as a teacher, what did I understand? Did we make an attempt to understand all these things when NAP is being proposed? Every teacher must go through this. Let me quickly take you through all these things. But experiential learning, I spoke enough things about that, right? So, right, let me take you experiential learning. Let me not get into curriculum design, right? Right. This is, I love it, right? So again, when we talk about experiential learning, it is outcome-based education, right? Now, one of the major thing that I've seen it in my last 10 years as a coordinator of NBA or giving consultancy at different place is people write a course outcome. I remember my senior friend, right? I call him as a friend because I love him, I like him. Professor K.C. Shinde, who retired from mechanical engineering department. He used to make one very nice, cut a joke on this, right? In a musical concert, there is one person directing by showing the finger at the different direction, right? So what is that doing? He's telling, now I'm bringing that to connecting to outcome-based education, right? Right hand finger rotating. He says that whatever you want to do, you do it. Left hand finger, whatever you want to do it. and centrally, whatever I wanted to do, I will do it. Okay, whatever I think I do it. Outcome-based education is happening in that way. A and B division, if they understand the outcomes in different way and design their course plan in a different way and do it, the student will suffer. There has to be commonality. But this time, Pravati, this time I will take the course and I do the way I want it. Next time, right, Parvati sir will take the course, do it in very nice way, right? How can you, right, normalize the way it is being driven by individual teacher? That's what is an NASCOM speaks all about, right? So let's get into one of the small case study which I would like to show to you. The first thing is writing course outcomes. Mixture of many things, right? Look at the one of the course outcome written for operating system. Design and develop a protocol using appropriate interface communication features of an operating systems, right? We are at level 3, preparing student for industry. And IEEE and ACM speaks about 3 levels of critical thinking. One is like familiarity, other one is usage, third one is assessment. Familiarity, I get to know. In usage, I use it. In assessment, the level, right, I justify why I go for this particular approach only. Right? So people go through the network, people study the network, computer network. I'm sorry to make a statement. Check it in your institution. Do they have a capability of writing any protocol based on RFC, request for comment? Can they build some standard protocol? If they are not written a protocol in computer network, how do you call them as an engineer? People again comment on this. No, our students are different. Okay, level at which, from which background they have come. Okay, look into that. This is the fundamental, the gap which is killing, making student industry ready. If this, we as a teacher, we as an institution overcome, then, right, the skill development or ability enhancement can happen. Okay, a coordinator of this particular FDP, thank you, very nice, right, title, academic preparation for skill development, right, transformation required, right? So look at that. A division student, B division student, teacher may do in a different way. That's why the NASCOM model that computer science department is following, performance ensuring measures. What is that we do is, we write it here. We ensure that this is mandatory. Right, look at that course project, design and implementation of protocols using RFC. What protocol you do, that is a freedom given to teacher. But every teacher, no matter who takes today, who takes tomorrow, who takes A division, who takes C division, doesn't matter, they have to implement this. So that, right, the all student, irrespective of the teacher, irrespective of the division, they acquire same capabilities. This is what is a major issue in outcome-based education, implementation in different institutions that we have seen it. Right? Yes. Now look at that. We talk about the industry readiness. Right? Fine. Right? In operating system, without giving an exposure for the use of p-thread libraries, how do you talk about thread scheduling in Unix operating system? I really wonder. You teach theoretical things, and there is no practical exposure. Even how to create a threads using p-thread library, student doesn't know about that. Transformation required, where in teacher's mind first, then infrastructure, competency. So naturally student will acquire all the skills, right? So this is the one which we were talking. We were given a framework. Let me not touch upon those aspects, right, of this. We also proposed, look at that, multi-entry, multi-exit, a case study for computer science people, we highlighted it. So what is that we are doing? Multi-entry with a common learning okay, equivalence approved by statutory bodies, institutional bodies at the first semester level. Multi-exit, okay, is an exigent condition, right, with incremental learning. After first year, you can exit, you do a project. There has to be a project. So that, I'm talking about the case study on computer science. You get basic C and advanced C audit courses. Okay, all these things you put it. So you become a programmer beginner. So when you go to the market with this certificate, you are designated as a programmer. Accordingly, contents are being scripted. Right? After the second year, when you exit, you get a diploma degree, but project is there always. What are essential? You are called as a business application developer. Accordingly, contents are written and given to you. After second year, right? Then after third year, bachelor's degree, you do a project is being termed in our proposal as EPIC, engineering project in community services or system projects, right? And fourth year of undergraduate program is equivalent to, right, the first year of MTech programs. So here, a research project, mandatory, right? Fine, accordingly, contents, something we have proposed, let me not take you into this one, right? After 4 years of BE, you get into PG, you get into the second year of PG. If not, after 3 years, if you get into, you will get into the fourth year of UG program is same as, right, first year of MTech program, right? This is the major reforms in NAP 2020. Right, fine. Credit bank, right? Until unless you have an interoperable credit bank introduced by, right, education department at the national level, nothing works. Right? Equivalence, all other things they establish, they give us certificates and they maintain how much. Right? Experiential learning, I told you about that. That multidisciplinary, wrongly understood by majority of us, right? Multidisciplinary, given a course handled by multidiscipline teachers, mechanical teacher, robotics. It is not this what I'm talking, showing here. Robotics, okay, first chapter may be taught by, right, mechanical department, second unit may be taught by electronics, third unit may be this, okay, the multiple disciplines handling a particular course. We proposed also institutional electives, a good opportunity to introduce German, Japanese language, right? Vedic mathematics, right? Tomorrow we have in department quantum computing, right? One of our alumni who is working in quantum computing, right? We are putting into that, right? Maybe thinking, okay, brand specific things we thought, leave it, all the things I will not talk about that. Somewhere we introduced, okay, chemistry for IT is different, chemistry for, okay, non-IT is different. What chemistry, what physics that helps me in, okay, writing, understanding quantum computing, that is be taught in physics, right? Then maybe skilled enabled learning, you do that one, do a project and get a certificate and get out of this, right? So IT, non-IT, that we give a different picture about that. Why? Appropriate skills are required. Physics for IT is different, physics for non-IT is different. Physics for computer science is different, right? And today computer programming is an order of a day for everyone. So we propose computer programming for first semester, second semester, right? For both with projects, right? Both the semesters we propose. There are many things we talk about, academic audits. Fine. There is one more thing we talk about. Okay, I'll skip it. Detailed development, we have done it in our paper. But highlights of that I'm sharing with you. Flexibility for the faculty. That's what I'm telling. All exams are to be conducted by course teachers. That's all. Right? Answer script is to be, okay, evaluated, shown to the students, and result will be displayed by course teacher. Right? The important thing is any variation in the assessment tool, type and the format are permitted in my view of flexibility, right? With the approval of concerned authorities, but should be given, should be exercised. I don't want to conduct a written type of semester end exam. It should be based on the presentation and course project. Okay, it should be permitted. Right? Right? Flexibility with accountability. Okay, that's what one has to see as an academic preparation for skill development. Right? There are many courses in computer science. Why do teach that in a classroom? Programming language, database management systems, part class and majority in the laboratory. Right? So develop the infrastructure accordingly, and true learning happens. Good learning happens. Anything that you do, you don't forget. Anything that you listen, you forget easily. And this is the major transformation required for academic preparation for skill development. Right? At this stage, it becomes my duty also. I need to acknowledge all faculty members of my department, DUGs of my department, IQs of my department, and BOS members. Right? And also I need to thank my colleague Vidya Gauri Madri, Indira, right, Ramnath, Rashmi Dinikar, because wonderful paper they have prepared out of, they have come out with a nice framework. I need to acknowledge them, right, at this stage. Just a minute.
Yeah, yes.
I'll come to that. Okay, this 1 minute. Just
Yes.
wait. Yeah, wait for this. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now I've come to the end of my session. Right. I wanted to keep the floor open for discussions. Right. So back to the session coordinator, Preeti ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, it was a very informative talk, and I think all the participants have understood or gained the information delivered by you, sir.
Floor is open for the questions.
Yes, sir.
We can
There are
put it
few
to-
questions. There are
Please.
few questions. I'll read it one by one, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir. For the first question from Professor Channaka Madam,
Mhm.
sir, it is suggested in NEP to have only 35% of program core subjects.
Mhm.
Others corresponds to electives,
Mhm.
ability enhancement, etc.
Mhm.
Sir,
Mhm.
don't you think that the emphasis will be reduced on the subject of specialization?
I don't think. That's why pedagogy comes into the picture, right? You identify 30% which are essential to be called as an electronics engineer. Remaining things, right? You ensure that they learn. That's why it's called learning trajectories. Within the electronics department, ask them what are the different learning trajectories they have, right? So it is a learning trajectory. That's why it's called electives. Let them decide what they wanted to do, right? You educate them. So I don't think.
Yes, sir.
Because
Next question.
we think that one, this is right reducing, okay, everything, okay, but it is not in true sense, right? Okay, next question. We'll take it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question from Professor Prashant Revankar, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, with reference to slide 41, the heterogeneity in the target student is obvious. We have slow learners, advanced learners, and no learners too in the class. How
Mhm.
do we judicially transit our frequencies to connect with a diverse group? Do we have to adopt something from Vishnu Sharma's Panchatantra along with the things like that?
Perfectly. You asked the question, you told the answer also. Look at that. There are different people, the students, okay, with a different pace of learning. That's why it is called teacher's flexibility. See, what I do is, right, if some students are not good in writing, right, I will not give a written type of exam for them. Their handwriting is hopeless, but they are very good programmer. So I'll give a problem to them, ask them implement it based on their presentation. I evaluate semester in exam, right? But there are some people, right, they have got different capabilities and all. Accordingly, I will, okay, establish benchmark also different. I should have a flexibility, okay, to have a different type of assessment tool to be used for different categories with, right, reasonable workload for a teacher to do all these things. Then only it is possible. With a workload of 2 theory, 4 laboratories with a 150 class strength, do it. Nothing is possible.
Sir, this is Dr. Amrit here. Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is generally one problem which I have seen, especially in the Indian education system.
Okay.
We always have a tendency to read things, read statements between the lines.
Yes.
And we try to implement everything in a different perspective rather
True.
than the actual essence that is being specified in any of the documents.
True.
And how do you see, or how far do you see that it will take time to implement it in the true spirit as far as the NEP is concerned?
Yeah, okay. The NEP, the concept is very excellent, right? But understanding the true intent of NEP in a true sense, ground reality is very less. Education is very less about that one. So I think what I feel is that we are making hurriedly implementing all these things without understanding the true picture of NEP 2020. It is my personal view.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Right.
one more small request. Sir,
Mhm.
in case if there is a possibility, if a session of this sort, like a
Mhm.
6-day session, could be conducted on OBE alone, wherein we can clearly understand what OBE concept is in
Yes.
detail, end to end.
Okay, the Department of Computer Science Engineering, SDM Engineering College, we give a consultancy, right, free of cost, right? If any institution wanted, right, one, they can approach our principal in written, right? We will give handholding to you all people, no issues, right? Why 6 days, right? 6 months also we will do it.
No, my intent was like we have a workshop of 6 days wherein we are getting a lot of insight into the education system.
True,
So
true.
if something is focused completely towards OBE for 6 days, that will give more insight is what I felt. So it's just
certainly.
a small request.
Certainly, it is possible, right? You can talk to me personally over a phone afterwards
Yes,
by taking my phone number,
yes,
right?
sir.
I will, okay, display that on the screen, right? You can note down my phone number.
Yes, sir. Just I'll take it down.
And email also. You can contact us.
Yes, sir.
And if your institution wanted any help from our institution, let your principal talk to our principal, right? Nice.
Surely, sir.
Yeah,
Surely,
done.
sir.
Any questions? Any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One more question, sir. One more question from Professor Prashant Revankar, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, please throw light on ancient Indian teaching that stresses on the principles of Shravana, that is hearing, Manana, that is contemplate, Nididhyasana, living and breathing, the truth in the light of OBE we practice today.
Sir, yeah, again, you asked the question as well as you told a beautiful answer also, right? Our Gurukula system, in one word, one sentence, I'll say, our Gurukula system is the best example, okay, for outcome-based education. Outcome-based education is being, I'll show you the very interesting part of that, right, which you will, right, really appreciate. See, in fact, right, this experiential learning or OB, what people are talking, the Western countries, like it's 500 years old. But our Gurukula systems, right, they have proven things several thousands years and all. Whatever you said, Manana, Shravana, Manana, all these things, right? What is Manana? Manana is not simply, right, remembering. Please understand that. Manana is not simply remembering that. Manana is bringing into the practice. Okay, our Bhagavad Gita says so many things and all. If there's human values, if I do not translate into my day-to-day activities and all, it is not called Manana. Manana, don't take it syntactically. Got it? I own it. Okay, I bring that into the part and parcel of my all actions. Got it? I bring whatever Shravana I have done it, bring part and parcel of my activities. That is Manana. Got it? Okay? Understood. And Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavet. See, whatever the transformation you bring in Manassu, right, that actions are nothing but replica of what the Manassu thinks about that. So this bringing that one, okay, I define it as Manana, right, Gus? So you're beautifully told, right, questions as well as answers, both, right? So outcome-based education, nowadays, Western people are talking all about that. Okay, our Indian culture knows 1,000 years back, thousand years back, all Gurukula systems are the best proven example for OBE. Even 1% of that one today nowhere is being followed. 1% of that.
Yes, sir. Sir, last question, sir. Last
Yeah,
question.
please.
From Professor Vidya Madam,
Mhm.
as a mathematics department head, I always find difficulty to follow the COPO mapping, etc. How to overcome such confusions?
Madam, the first
Also
thing,
following,
I'll
sir,
tell you.
second part, sir. Also following Bloom's taxonomy while preparing question paper, etc.
Simple. Madam, first thing is that it is difficult to follow, okay, a right course outcome or follow that one. Remove that from the mind. That is the solution. Right? For example, right, matrix, you are teaching a matrix or numerical techniques, right? Simple thing, right? Say Ragekuta, right? So at the end of the course, student will be able to apply Ragekuta method for a given problem statement over. It's a doing part, madam. Mathematics is full of doing, right? Okay. At the end of the course, student will be able to apply Ragekuta method for the given any problem statement. That's all. And in the examination, give any problem, the people will apply Ragekuta and get the solution for that. Okay. What are the course outcomes? Course outcomes are nothing but what you expect student to do. Simple. Simple. At the end of a course, I want my student to apply Ragekuta method for given any scenario, scene, and solve it. That's all. It is very simple. Right? But anyhow, please, madam, note down my mobile number, email ID. Okay. Maybe of this particular session, you can talk to me more detailed with your mathematics as a course. We will together write course outcomes. I like it. Right? Thank you.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for the excellent talk delivered by you, sir. Once again, thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome. And okay, people can reach to our institution, right, for any of the help required for okay MBA preparation, NAT preparation. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you so
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I end my session here. Stop sharing my screen.
Yes, sir.
But
Participants, I request all the participants to fill the attendance link and be sharp online at 2:45. We have a talk on the topic experimental learning methods in higher education by Professor R.C. Biradar, sir. I request all the participants to fill the attendance link. Thank you one and all.